Hey, everybody. Welcome to Adam and Steve Not.
Adam and Eve.
The podcast where we bite the apple. So we are back. I hope all you listeners are doing great and whatever you're doing.
Whatever there is to do.
Right, while you're listening to us. And how are you, Adam?
You know what? I'm doing just wonderful, Steven.
Just peachy.
I'm just trying to tell myself that after a rough day with my whiskey in front of me.
Well, you know what? As long as you have whiskey in front of you, you are on the road to recover, the road to happiness.
Yes, and the podcast, whiskey and the podcast, everything's fine.
I know. Well, we always have a drink or two while we're doing the podcast. It helps us really let loose.
Maybe 4. No, I'm just kidding.
I know. Well,
how are you?
I am not bad today, I mean, I guess that sounded bad. I said not bad as if I'm like bad every day.
You know what today is? It's much better than the last, I guess.
That was real glass half empty rather than glass half full. You know what I mean?
Really depressing.
I know, right? And
we actually both do.
I know,
today,
right?
yeah.
It's like womp womp. Okay, let's pick it up.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'm fine. Actually, my tattoo is healing. It doesn't hurt as much as it was.
3 lines.
That shit hurt. I ain't gonna lie, it really did. But no, I'm good. You know what I mean? It's not too bad.
Well, we should probably ask our guest how he's doing.
Yeah, we have a special guest with us, Derek Viveiros. Did I say your name
guys.
right?
Yeah, Viveiros. It's all the same.
Well, I mean,
shit.
give us the correct pronunciation.
Well, if you're in Portugal, it's Viveiros.
Okay, well, we're in the U.S.
Yeah.
So
Viveiros.
And I'm white, so I say Derek V.
Derek V. You can say that. I'll let it slide. It's fine.
So why don't you tell the people a little something about yourself, and then after that, a little bit, we'll get into like what we're going to talk about.
Sure. So, like Steven said, my name is Derek Viveiros. I'm a director, producer, actor, writer, and I just finished production on a pilot called Mother's Creme Diaries. It's a drag, softcore comedy, and I guess we'll get into that if it happens later on.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get into because I have some questions and things.
And it's always got questions.
I know, right?
What else is new?
I'm curious. I'm like, so I'm very curious about things. I can't help myself.
All right,
But
that's why I'm here.
Before we get into it, let's jump into like what's going on with you guys right now. Like, what are you doing? What are you watching? What are you laughing at? Who you blocking? Like,
Well, what's life about?
right?
Well, actually, we've been talking a lot lately about like what TV shows like you've been watching because I feel like everybody's watching TV right now
Aren't we,
or have been
though?
for the past year.
You know what killed me? It's a Sin.
I haven't watched it yet.
I did.
fuck's
I've been
sake.
telling you, right? You know what? It was. It was so good. I mean, it was kind of uplifting, but it was
Yes.
really good.
It was-
But there was one storyline that rocked my world, and I wasn't ready for it. Like the one guy that worked at the tailor shop.
Oh, that died first.
That's the one that we told Adam in
We spoiled it for everybody.
I have a big mouth.
Spoiler
just to let you know,
alert.
so
No, it's
But-
fine. I'll still cry. It'll be
You
fine.
will, but his
yeah,
storyline,
and I
I
don't.
did not. I didn't anticipate that.
I didn't anticipate the ending.
Yeah.
That was like,
Yeah.
you guys clutch pearls. I don't clutch
Yeah.
pearls, and I clutched pearls.
I mean, I knew that with
It's like I'm listening. I have no idea.
No,
what they're
you gotta-
talking
you-
about.
You have to, and it's only there's 5
No,
episodes.
Yeah, you gotta watch
I've
it.
watched it already.
But it's like you already know if you watch a show about HIV/AIDS, like the beginnings of it, you already know there's going to be some tragic things, right? Like it's a given because it was such, it was happening. There was no,
I think that's why I haven't watched it yet because I'm not ready to be in that state mentally.
but there's some really good things,
Yeah.
and the music is great.
And the beginning, you're just it's a good show. Like it's uplifting. You're seeing everyone's lives.
But it gets you.
It just turns to reality.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
essentially.
exactly what
and
it
like
is.
I love
history.
that.
Like
Yeah,
what
exactly.
actually-
And it just broke my heart.
Yeah,
that
it
was
breaks,
like
completely breaks
40
your heart.
years ago. It just.
Yeah, it breaks your heart, but it's good. It just you get a
You have
little
to, you're
heartbroken.
going to be in a mood afterward. Yeah, maybe just
You know what
I
I watched? You know what I watched recently that I just started
You're going to be
watching?
posting a post on Instagram like mood.
Crying. You're like me crying. But you know what I watched? Remember Queer as Folk?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just watched the original British one. Like I watched it the other day. Like I was trying to find something new to watch, and I was like, you know what? I've never watched this version of it. So I was like, let me compare and contrast. So
compare. And contrast.
So there's an accent, right? There's a little British accent.
There is, but it's only 2 seasons, and it's like it's very. It's interesting. It was different. It was different than, I mean, there's still bases of what the U.S. version was based off of, but it was a little different. And Charlie Hunnam plays the little 15-year-old twink, and he.
Do you want me to leave you guys alone right now? Have a little moment.
No,
you did you watch Sons of Anarchy? Like probably.
I've seen it. I didn't like religiously watch it.
So the main guy, the hottie, he was on the original Queer Folk. But anyways, I watched that, and I don't know why. I just clicked one day. I was like, I'm gonna watch this. Like yesterday, the day before, because it was short. I finished.
I have a hard time with dated. Like I feel like there's so much content out right now that to go back in time and watch.
Yeah, but if you haven't watched it, why can't you go back in time?
Because it's a little irrelevant.
Yeah, but you just watched It's a Sin, which went back to around that same time.
But the writing didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like it was current in terms of like film style and like acting. You know, it was dated. That's like me watching Queer as Folk, the American version. It's
I know, but if you haven't watched
Sex in the City, this shit's dated.
Oh, but Sex in the City is still very good.
Like this shit's dated. I'm
starting to feel very offended. I don't know if I should have had you on this.
What? It's time to like stop the recording.
Wrap it up. All right, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
It's been great.
Right, and your time is up, Derek. Thank you.
Oh, we're just kidding.
Yeah. No, you're not.
I know, right? I'm like, I'm going to have to screen these people a little bit closer. But other than...
Steven getting his feelings hurt.
Right? I'm like, ooh. I don't know what else is happening. The Meghan Markle and Harry interview with Oprah just happened, and that's kind of thrown the world in a little uproar. Well, the Britons at least.
And Piers Morgan.
Oh, you know what? Bye. 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 I mean, the British press is horrible. We already know that. Look what happened to Diana. Like, you already know how the British press is. And so this is not a surprise. And she's a woman of color. Are we surprised here?
No.
Like, anyways. But the Oprah memes just keep on getting
I haven't been getting them.
Are you kidding?
You're going to need to send me one tonight. Yeah, I haven't gotten them.
People send them to me. Like, I've gotten them all day, today, yesterday. Like, since the interview happened, like, the gifts and memes I've been getting. Really?
Is it like an older thing? Is it for older people?
Do not get slapped. And for the record, you are not that much younger than me. Sir,
I'm 31.
Ma'am, lies.
Wink,
lies, and more lies. I'm like, ma'am, I know you're not really trying it on my show. First of all, this show's title is Adam and Steve, not Eric, Steve, and Derek. Don't get rid on the show.
I think I had a little too much.
I think you did.
Sauvignon Blanc.
Too much wine.
Exactly. But, well, I don't know. What else is going on? What should we...
I started dating, if anybody... He's like, I don't want to fucking talk about your dating.
Talk about your dating life. Who cares?
He's like, I'm over you.
I'm just going to literally sit here and watch this happen in front of me the whole time. I'm just kidding.
Well, who did you start... Well, I mean, you don't have to mention his name.
I don't... I don't do one-night stands. Oh, God. So that's why, you know, for those listeners, me and Steven had a conversation earlier, and he's like, you don't have to date for that. And my issue is like, I don't, you know, invite randoms over just because I'm afraid of what I'm going to get. And I don't want to have to pity whatever it is that's going to happen. So I prefer dating, and then, you know, I dated a couple.
So basically, you think you're better than us. It's
no.
Speak for yourself.
Have you guys never had that like fear of like seeing a picture, saying, "Yeah, come over"?
Oh, yeah, but I've still made the wrong choice.
Oh, we've made wrong decisions at times. But
do you just go with the flow?
No, sometimes you say, "This isn't what I thought it was." You gotta go.
Yeah, you just gotta leave. Bye.
That's freaks me the fuck out.
Well, I mean,
this is actually a really good topic.
I know, right?
But here's where it would be easy. If I were to go to their house, I would have no problem being like, "This isn't working out."
Oh,
but
you could
usually
do that too.
I host.
Oh.
Learning about hosting. I usually
Why can't you go to their place too? I mean, I don't really like to do that either.
True, but a lot of people who are down to fuck like to go to a hosted. It seems like it's
Yeah, it depends. Out here,
depends.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of people that have roommates.
But you don't have to have a boyfriend to have sex. Sometimes you just need to be touched.
Right.
That's what I say.
But I get what you're saying, because there's been a lot of situations. Not a lot. There's been a couple.
Right. I'm
literally making myself sound like a
lot
whore.
this month.
Yeah, it's like I just don't know. But I've been in the situation where it's like you.
Look, I'm getting sweaty as we talk.
You're like, oh no, like why do I have to deal? But like as time has gone on, I feel like if that were to happen to me, I just
You would just be like,
no.
you know what it is? Maybe I haven't done it enough to be comfortable to be
maybe
like,
I'm
listen.
not as slutty as you guys.
I think I need to be a little more sluttier, and then I'll be like,
I mean, to be honest, I haven't really been doing much these days, but just being honest here.
Well, yeah, right now it's weird. It's a weird time.
And unfortunately, I wish I was doing more. I mean, I don't know. I feel like, especially with sex, for me, I can speak for myself. I feel like you go through phases. There are times where you want to have sex and you want to have it often enough. And then there's times where you just can't be bothered. Like that's me.
Like, nope.
There's like an ebb and flow.
Like, I don't care about any of this right
You're
now.
like, girl, I'm in bed. Ain't enough money. You can, like, I can't get up. Like, you can't come over. Like, typically once I put those covers up,
it's done.
It's a wrap.
We're closed.
You know, I mean,
closed for
especially
business.
now because like we're not doing that. Staying out to 2, 3, 4 in the morning where you are like raring to go because you drink too much or what have you. I'm just not having those situations either, you know, and that's, by the way, when you make the worst decisions.
It is. So if anything,
decisions.
we've been doing better for ourselves during the pandemic.
See, I'm the opposite. I tend to go home after those nights where right now I'm on the app. Like Scruff.
I mean, I'm on the
Bumble.
app sometimes, but I'm just Bumble. I'm not on that, but I'm just
Bumble. Yeah, I mean, I've heard of Bumble, but
I know.
It's cute. It's very like meet up for coffee. And like,
see,
let's
that's
go
a
for
disguise. That's a disguise. People be saying they want to meet up for coffee, but at the end of the day, they all want the same old crap.
So wait, you're dating. This is how this started.
Yeah. Well, there's after like the 5 or 6 that I've come in contact with. I found one that.
It seems to
tickled
be
my fancy,
a little bit, like ooh, maybe there's
You know what's
something
really
here.
funny? He does have Richard Ramirez vibes.
Oh,
Mexican.
Okay. So for any of you that don't know who Richard Ramirez
This
is,
says a lot about you as a person.
I
he
know.
is a serial killer
Right.
from the 1980s.
I think I'm closeted. I'm a closeted kink. Like I like kink behind. I'm what is it? A freak in the sheets, but not a freak on the streets.
Is that the same?
Well, like it's like maybe like one
something
thing
like
being
that.
like a freak and like another thing
I'm like,
being
is that
killed.
the saying now?
Like, I'm a freak with my windows open.
Right.
I'm in.
Come on, just do it.
So how long have you been
Okay, sorry.
dating this guy?
We just had 3 dates.
Oh God! Why did you bring this up, ma'am?
New question. New question.
Move on.
New question. Because I'm in love. No,
This is very typical though.
Okay,
Oh,
I
God.
thought that there was some
is
significant
hilarious.
time here, and you didn't made me waste a whole segment talking about your dating life. Like, I can't.
But it's cute, you know, like
Thank you.
because it's hard to even like have any type of connection with anybody. out
Exactly.
here,
And like the
so.
pheromones were going and things like stuff outside that you can't control happened. It wasn't.
You know, maybe the next time we'll have you on, we'll get an update because maybe he'll turn out to be your boyfriend.
Maybe.
And maybe this will just be 3 dates. But
Who knows?
I mean, like I said, I'm a little, I don't want to say picky, but I'm older. So I'm particular. I know what I want. I know what's attractive. I know what.
You don't waste your time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know when there's time for that shit. So this person, it's been a while, and this person just checked off all the T's or the.
Did you guys talk for a little
Yeah.
while before you started like
Absolutely.
hanging out?
Yeah. We talked.
that's
and
good.
Then, after even like the hangout isn't always like hooking up. There's a lot of talking and stuff involved.
That's awesome.
So it's intellectual as well, Stephen.
Is it though?
Okay, we can talk about. Let's talk about something else.
I know. I kind of like forgot what like the microphones
I'm
were on
like,
for a
let's
minute.
just
I'm like,
move
we're
on
just like
because I don't even know what to say about
I know.
that.
Sorry, guys.
Well, let's get into the episode.
Yeah,
Okay, let's do it.
so
What's the
we
topic?
decided to have Derek here because, like Derek said, he just did a pilot. Is that what was the name of it? Cream?
Well, first, I just want to thank you guys for having me. And
course,
like,
yeah.
I've been listening to you guys for a little while, and I just love that you're bringing in the community
Yeah.
and lifting everybody up, and
thank you.
kind of seeing what everyone's doing. And I
Yeah.
think since COVID, we're kind of we've always been in this together, but
Right.
since COVID, it's definitely like reminded us like we're not alone. You know what I mean? Like
No, yeah,
all we
totally.
have is each other.
Yep.
And especially in like big cities, and we're closed down. It's like.
It's so true.
Yeah.
This is all we have, so
That's true.
I'm happy to be here, having a glass of wine with you, shooting the shit.
Thank you for
Awesome.
coming.
I appreciate
yeah,
it.
this is what we love.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why we wanted to do this. We want to share and we want other people to bring their ideas and whatever they're working on. Like, you never know who you touch, who you help, who's listening.
Exactly.
We're all here to help each other, you know?
And honestly, something I've heard and someone's asked me is like, how have you been able to like provide content in this time? Because it's always been very the same, there's not like a lot going on, and you
Right.
can't really meet up with people. Like, and it's a little bit different now because people are starting to get vaccinated and
Right,
stuff.
right.
But before, it was difficult.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I
kinda
feel
make-
like you put something out there so people have something to listen to still, even if
Exactly.
they don't happen to listen to it at the time because
Right.
they're going through
Yeah.
whatever, and it feels good, So,
Yep.
But thank you for coming on. Thank you for saying
Thank
all
you
those things.
for having me and for doing the podcast.
Yeah. So what are you doing?
So
Tell
back
us.
to
Back to me.
What am I?
Tell us.
No. Like I said, I was actor, and I recently just kind of started really getting to directing and focusing on that. And I am obsessed with the drag community. I've been like an avid watcher of RuPaul's Drag Race for about like 3 years. I was kind of late to the show. And I myself was a low-key drag queen.
How so?
I graduated Second City, which is sketch, improv, sketch comedy or whatever. And I found myself when I was doing sketches, I loved being a woman. Like I just loved putting a wig on, putting a dress on, and just like degrading that character. Ooh, this sounds bad.
Where I was going to say,
I was like,
No,
maybe not
but
the right
like-
word.
The me too. Guys, no, I don't mean to. Well, because it was me, Derek,
Gotcha.
as a character. So I felt like I could like do whatever.
Yeah.
And I just found myself always going back to these characters of women and just, being obsessed with that. And then also, watching RuPaul's show and the talent that is on there. So to make a long story short, as I, been going on in my career, I've decided to put myself aside and actually put talented drag queens in my content.
okay.
So I crowdfunded for a pilot during COVID. Ugh, it was a mess. It was during Black Lives Matter and April, so like just after COVID. But I already had it planned. So I, waited, and just a bunch of shit was happening, and
Right.
the time wasn't never right. But I was like, what am I doing? Like, is the time ever going to be right? So I finally put my foot down and did the crowdfunding campaign, and like everybody was just so amazing. Like I said, like during COVID, everyone just wants to help each other. That's all we have.
Yeah.
Everyone's just so everyone just came together, and I was able to raise the money. I was able to film it, and so basically it is a drag comedy, an ode to '90s Skinemax. I don't know if you guys are familiar with late night. Do you remember late night
Yes.
premium cable?
Yes.
Very sexual, very like
It's like if you didn't have premium, it would be in the fuzzy, like.
yes. There was no penetration.
Yeah.
No, there was no pen. You didn't really see anything.
You saw tits, you saw ass, you saw
Right,
pubic
well,
hair.
Yeah, but you didn't.
For us, that was
You
a
didn't
that was a
see-
lot,
you didn't
but that was a
see
lot.
Inserting.
Right, you
No, you
didn't
didn't see
see-
it.
yeah,
There was a
that's
lot
what I
of
mean.
like riding,
Yeah,
Right.
like weird ways that don't even actually make sense for sex.
Yes.
and some hot men that you didn't really see anything.
my
on.
God.
Yeah, I do remember this.
Yes. Well, that stuck with me because that's
I
what
vaguely remember this.
I may have seen those once or twice.
Well, because we have porn like at our fucking fingertips,
Yeah.
so it's like, of course, we don't remember. But that's what I grew up with. That's where I learned about sexuality, and just really stuck with me. Watching it now, it's hilarious because, like you said, like they're not even there.
No, they're humping.
They're like the girl is on top of his chest, and it's supposed to be his dick. It's like it doesn't even. It's not even.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Not at all.
and it's
So-
kind of dramatic. The scenes
It's-
are really dramatic. Yeah,
But I'm obsessed with it. I'm fucking obsessed with it. So I made a softcore 90s Skinemax show, but with drag queens. So every episode, the girls call in to a late night show, and we hear their sexual story of awakening. If that makes sense.
but it's a
Sexual story of what?
Awakening.
Yeah.
So basically, we hear the drag queens' sexual, like not your first time of having sex, but like
so, but it's a scripted.
scripted show.
Show.
Yeah, scripted comedy.
Okay. And no, because I'm just trying to get in my head. Like, so it's scripted. So they call in.
Yep.
They sell okay, there's a book that I want you to read that I think you would find very interesting. Anyways, so it's scripted and it's 25 minutes ish, which
Yep.
is what most 30 minutes, but with commercials end up like. So they call in, they tell this fantasy, and then the fantasy is.
And then we go
acted.
back in time to the fantasy, and we actually see the drag queen going through the just craziness that ensues sexually.
So there's okay, I get it. Because what I find interesting with drag shows is that
Like on TV or like live?
yeah. So what I'm saying is like when I watch drag shows on TV, it's like I don't see anything like this. It's like competitions, like drag. What is it called? Dragula or
Dracula?
the
The one on Netflix?
drag show that's like
or Gothic?
yeah, something like that. I'm probably saying it wrong, y'all. Somebody's gonna be reading me about her.
I just said Dracula. I think it is Dracula.
Whatever it's called with the Boulet brothers. I know it's
Yes,
the Boulet
yes.
brothers. And then you have Drag Race, which is crazy because who would have thought that this show would be winning Emmys and
Right.
would be as popular as it is
Yeah.
and making big careers out of a lot of these girls.
Absolutely.
Like big careers, people are coming up doing huge things. You know, Shangela is a great. I know Shangela, so it's a great example of like
Yeah.
she's just one of many that have gone off to do like really big things. And Rue is kind of amazing.
Absolutely.
So but it would be interesting to see other shows with drag queens that's not in maybe like a competition kind of setting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Would you be interested in watching it, do you think?
I think I would.
Can you visualize it?
Yeah, that's why.
So
I was
like they're
asking,
like
yeah.
they're playing their character. They're not like taking their wigs off and like act. They're literally it's a character. They're playing who they're playing. I'm not going to use their names. Like
Yeah.
Shangela wouldn't come in as Shangela or like Katya. They would
yeah.
come in as like the character that they're portraying or whatever. But it would be in full drag and like full what they do. There'd be like maybe a choreographed number, like what they do. Like they sing, they dance, they act, but we don't have any other platforms for them besides Drag Race or live shows. You know what I'm saying?
No,
so I'm trying to bring
I-
that in a really funny narrative format.
I like it if you're incorporating like dance numbers.
Oh, absolutely.
Like or singing, like whatever they do, comedy, whatever they do.
They're so talented.
Well, that's the thing because you want to display their talent.
Exactly.
I get it.
So
Exactly.
talented, like from like so many levels too.
That's how I
It's
got
just,
hooked
like,
on the show. I was just like, how is one person, and they're not
They like
main,
they can do their makeup, they can dance like and put on these crazy numbers. They can like do like they can
What
do
the-
so much. It's insane. They're like different.
yes, they're rock stars.
I'm like, how do you how?
And a lot of them, like when they put that drag on, that's a whole different person. than when
Yeah, and the
they're, like,
personality in
not
general,
drag.
like
Yeah.
you exude this like other self.
Well, when we
It's
hang out
just-
with Amber, you see how people are around her. Our friend Amber, who came on the show,
Amber Crane.
Amber Crane. Listen to her episode; it's great. But when we hang out with when we could hang out, the way people would react to her in person is just I would laugh. I would just be like. She's like, girl, people are crazy. But they love her. You know what I mean? And she's fabulous. Like,
well,
she
if you're
turns it
walking
out.
down the street and like you see a regular cis couple walking their dog, and you see a drag queen walking your dog, who are you gonna look at?
Yeah.
The drag, you're. It's just like it's a wow. Like
Yeah.
there's something about them. It's like magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like the idea of it. And I like that that drag queens recently are really starting to get their due and like notoriety and because they work hard.
So
you know,
hard.
the ones that are good are fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like they put in the work.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, look at the arc of like RuPaul's Drag Race from when it first started to where it's at now. Look at like the production, look at the talent. Like it's
and
so
the
hard to get
spin-offs.
on that show. Yeah.
The amount of spin-offs that are just so
the
popular.
tours, everything.
I subscribe to WoW Network just for the UK, and there's UK, Canada, and then they're going to start the Down Under, Australia, and Spain. It's just like it's
crazy. I haven't looked at all those. I've only been watching ours, but I've heard other people talk about the different ones that they watch.
because I'm thinking about my spin-offs, not my, thinking about my empire.
So you have you filmed the pilot? Or
Yeah,
you...
I filmed the pilot.
Okay.
I put myself in it. As I said, I kind of feel like I was a drag queen for a while. They call it day drag. I never like went full on like crazy makeup and like I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But I put myself in it just because I wasn't. You know, it's a pilot. You shoot the pilot and you use what works and what didn't work for the actual series.
Right.
So I'm not going to be a part of when the series gets this. What I filmed is not. And it's not part of
right. Well, it's a pilot.
It's a pilot.
Yeah.
So right now it's getting pitched to. I'm trying to get a celebrity drag queen to come as a producer, just to kind of like give it a little more clout. So I reached out to this big management company that has someone I'm really interested in.
That's awesome.
Wow. So, what got you into like? Just kind of really being interested in drag queens. Like, what made you get to this point where you're like, I want to make a show about drag queens?
Just listening to yourself. Like I've been acting for so long, and like I said, I've been doing a lot of sketch. And at a certain point, I was just like, yeah, I'm talented, but there's so many other people who are just like way more talented, or they actually like they're at a different level. And I started to feel myself going towards directing anyway. So I just put 2 and 2 together. I was just like, Derek, let go of the fucking acting thing. Like it was fun while it lasted, but we're done. We are so done. And I just feel so optimistic and just so like, you just have to listen to yourself and like, just fucking let go of some like, your what's it called, preconceived notions. Like I moved here as a fucking actor at 23, a straight actor at 23, and just like so much has changed in
when
my
I
life.
met Derek, he was straight. quote unquote straight.
And look at him now, drag director.
For the record, I was like, he is not straight. I was like, and I'm not one of those persons that makes everybody gay, but I was like, he ain't straight. I was like, I'm sorry, but that's gonna be false.
He was on his own little journey, and I'm glad he took his time because look at him now.
He was definitely on the journey. He had this girlfriend too, and I was like,
oh wow,
that's like a few.
Yeah, but the one I'm talking about, whatever. But
tattoos and stuff.
Yeah. I was like, this doesn't make sense to me.
She looked like a drag queen, so maybe that's what was.
I was like, this doesn't make sense to me. I was like, something's amiss. I was like, something is amiss.
But that's how you got into directing. But what got you into like focusing that on drag queens?
Well, have you seen my content, like just Instagram or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just like a lot. Like I said, it was a lot of like putting on women's clothes.
Okay.
And
this makes sense because I never understood what you were doing in your Instagram. I was like, what is this? I didn't know.
I still watch it. You know what Instagram was for me? It was my film school because I never went to like film school or anything. And once Instagram started doing the 15-second video stuff, and my acting career it was boring. I did like Fuller House and Brooklyn. I was like I was kind of like elevating, doing things, but I wasn't fulfilled. Like it was just fucking boring. Yeah. And then Instagram came out with the 15-second video thing, and I noticed people putting, sketches or whatever, funny shit. Right. And I was like, I can do that. And I started doing a few, and people were like, and then I started getting like deep into it, like learning how to edit and like green screen and like then going balls to the wall, like putting dildos in my ass, like just
that's
whatever.
Really what you want to do.
That is really
no, but I was
that's
just
real
like,
balls to the wall.
I was genuinely curious of what it would like. What comedy I wanted to like see how far I could go with comedy in terms of like bringing in sexual elements. So hence why my comedy has, got a little raunchy or whatever. But I think that's why I gravitate towards drag queens, because they're also very over the top and raunchy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that now that kind of, because I just was like, I don't know what he's doing. Like, because you know me, I was like, what is happening here?
Such a bitch.
Because I just...
Guys, if you're listening, go through my Instagram and go through like the 2017, 2008. There's some like really like interesting,
okay, but there's no context to it, so I didn't know what I was supposed to be.
Because my friend, she said the same. She's like, Derek, your stuff's really good, but there's no context. She's like, you really need to start like.
Because I didn't know, like, I was like, what am I supposed to be? Like,
yeah, but like I said, it was my film school, so I just like didn't care.
Yeah, you were just going for it.
I was just going for it. Like at one time, my grandma took me aside during Christmas, and she was like, in Portuguese, she was like, someone told me I did like an ingestible arrangements sketch, which was like dildos in like an arrangement. And there was a rat, a mole, they call it on Facebook, that had told her. And she put me aside, and like, I was really upset because I couldn't translate to her that this was what was making me really happy. And this is where I was like, the avenue was going. You know what I mean? This kind of like, I don't like calling it raunchy humor. It's just my type of humor.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was learning. Like, it's not like I'm playing with dildos every night.
Yeah.
Well, who knows?
You might be.
I might be.
But it was some extra to spare.
Like, I'm going to do this arrangement.
But it just, it was sad that she didn't see it. But anyway,
she's older.
She's older, yeah. But I stuck to my guns, and I'm glad I did, because I outgrew all that, like, kind of experimental shit, and now I have a full-fledged pilot. It's a narrative. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And if you guys
there's context.
There's context that Steven needs so badly.
I did.
Watching Queer as Folk.
Well, listen, at least I knew.
The UK version.
I watch a lot of stuff. I am all over the place in my interests. That is one thing about me that you will find out. Like my interests, I will shock you at some of the things that I actually watch and read and know. They know I know a lot of random shit. Like, how did you know
just
this?
like the most random.
Really?
Shit.
I just know random.
He
shit.
just knows everything. You just ask. He's kind of like Google.
I
just
love
like
that.
ask a question. He just like has the answer.
I'm very curious about things, and so I just like will like look shit up. I read. I just am that person.
Like, how do you know all of these things?
I just do.
Anywho.
But anyways, now it makes sense, because the thing is, even though I felt like I was like, there's no context. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, but I knew you were trying to get
there was like
somewhere. You know what I mean?
And that's what you like wanted to do. So
yeah, I knew there was something that you were doing. I knew. I just didn't know what it was.
And now you have a pilot for a fucking show.
Yeah,
that's
and
cool.
then it's just on from there. Like I'm working on another script with a friend, and I just feel like I low-key want to be like the Scorsese of drag.
Well, the cool thing about what you're doing and where we're at right now in entertainment and TV particularly is that there are so many avenues now that you have a pilot. There's like, it doesn't necessarily have to be like this major like network, or there's so many services that could pick your pilot.
I mean, that's how like Schitt's Creek, that's on Pop TV or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I will actually prefer to be in a smaller like streaming platform, so it like gets like kind of nourished, and like we kind of grow together. Like RuPaul, that should, season 1 that was for the birds. No one watched. It took a while for it to get going, and I feel like mine, if it was like on Netflix right away, like you said, the context might be a little off, where people are like, "What the fuck is this?" They won't know, and I feel like that's just me in general. Like I just am not good with like. I don't like to explain. I just like to do. So I feel like I need a platform that's like, oh, we get where you're going. Like, let's do this with you. And in a few years, we'll be on BH1.
Well, I mean, you've seen it with plenty of things.
Oh, absolutely.
When we just watched I May Destroy You, I mean,
Have you watched that?
I have. And Chewing Gum. Have you watched
Chewing Gum?
That was hilarious.
She's incredible. And I loved I May
great.
Destroy You. It's one of the best things I've seen. And I can't even remember how long. But her Awkward Black Girl, before it went on HBO, was YouTube.
Oh my God, what's her name?
Yeah.
I can't remember her name.
She's on.
I'm talking about.
What?
I know. I'm totally drawing a blank, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. Insecure.
Insecure.
Yes.
Which was Awkward Black Girl on YouTube. Like, so you never know. But there's so many
I know. I feel
now.
I'm going to put it, you guys are hearing it first on this podcast. What I'm working on right now will be made, whether it's my money or someone else's money, but I'm like 100%. This project came out of necessity because what's on TV right now or what's on platforms, there's nothing. I've looked. Let's talk about AJ
like
and the Queen for the birds. I know a lot of you liked it, but like it's like so dated.
I didn't like it at all.
Her following a homeless kid because he stole her money. What? Can I see a tit? Can I see an ass? Can I see? And then why do we have to like?
I didn't watch it, but you know RuPaul is about camp.
So I'm about camp too, but I'm about that. Well,
she's a little, she's a little old school camp. I mean, you sit on
and I actually really enjoyed watching
and it
RuPaul
didn't get renewed.
in the show.
It didn't get renewed.
Like I liked,
I didn't watch it.
What I liked was watching RuPaul perform in that show because you don't really see that anymore now.
Right.
So like for me, that was the only thing I liked, but the story behind it, I was like not in it at all.
I put it on my list for a while, but I never got around to watching it because I kind of knew.
Well, because no one talks about it.
I kind of knew though. I was like, I mean, just looking at the little previews that was coming up, I was like, I don't know. There's other things. The only thing that did make me kind of want to watch it is the cameos. Well, one, like you said, seeing RuPaul in drag performing, and two, the cameos from all the other drag queens from Drag Race that I actually liked. Like, what's her name?
There's Jinx. Katya was there. Yeah. Who else?
But I was like, I like what's her name? What's Latrice? I want to see Latrice because I like Latrice.
Have you watched Cherry Pop on Amazon?
I haven't.
She's in that as a man.
That's on my list. I'm bad.
I'm just curious.
I'm bad.
I know.
Well, the only reason I watch is because that's like my forte. Right. So I like want to do research, and I'm just curious of what people think. Like,
I used to watch Alyssa's show. It was bad
Edwards.
though. Alyssa
on
Edwards.
Netflix,
the dance one.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed that. Because it was just real life.
It was bad, but it was good. You know
She'd
what I mean?
be great on my show.
But I like her. Segment. She's hilarious to me.
As like a rich, divorcee with a bunch of money.
She would be good on
a pool boy who like sweeps her off her feet.
Totally can see that.
Yeah, she'd be amazing. If you're listening, girl,
you're right.
I'm gonna say.
No, she really would be. Actually, I can totally see that. Totally see it. Yeah, that's cute. And then like 90s, you can play like some 90s Prince music and stuff.
Well, no, my plan is because they are like musicians as well, and they all have fucking EPs. Yeah, put that shit in the show. Like, let's publicize you guys and let's get your music going. Like, a lot of them make great music, and it's not there's not a lot of platforms for them.
That's true.
Their music.
Well, that's awesome.
Times are changing, I think, for the better. So what are your next steps?
Like I said, I'm in the process of talking to management companies so I can get an actual celebrity drag queen to come on board and be part of the producing team and help us put a little kind of oomph to it. I don't want to be some random being like, hey, I have a drag show. Like, look at my shit. You
should just get Adam to dress up in drag and be on the show.
No, that would be so bad for your show. Like, it would just be the worst. I don't know how to do makeup. My outfit would be horrible. I would probably not be able to walk in the heels. I would fall.
You would be bad in
it would just be the worst.
We can make it work.
Like, maybe I could be like, in the background, just moral support.
Behind the scenes. That is so funny.
What do you like long term? I guess see.
I see like an actual like production company, like what WoW does for Drag Race and content. I see that, but more like I said, narrative, more like not gritty, but more realistic, not so much camp per se, because like they're so over the top as it is. It'd be nice to see them in a more like streamlined type of show, because it'd still be fucking funny.
Yeah,
because they're fucking funny.
Yeah.
So why do we have to add all this fucking craziness? Let's just keep it real. It's gonna be funny. Yeah, just take it down a notch. I'm gonna take it down a notch, guys.
You think you're going to take it down a notch?
I am.
He's going to have this campy ass.
Right, exactly. It's going to be your completely over the top. I mean, when you say 90s,
but also here's a question. The only thing I'm worried about is the sexual situations. I'm hoping that everybody's okay with Like, because I like to take the situations far.
But now that's going to depend on who picks you up.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I'm talking about the actors. I want them to feel comfortable with, because I would love to see a little pube. I would love to see real crack. I would love to see, well, they're going to have breastplates or whatever. But
yeah, but there's post-production that you can fix that kinds of stuff too.
True.
You know,
that's my only, I think, hurdle. But in terms of, like I said, I'll make it work.
I think in general, with my perception is that with most people who are actors, they will take it as far as they can possibly take it for the most part.
True.
You know what I mean? Because most actors, you kind of get into that role, you get into your craft.
And if they're,
and not that I'm saying they're going to be like nude or whatever, probably not.
No,
but
not at all.
but they will take it as far as they could possibly take it. You know what I mean? Like, because most actors do that for the most part.
Yeah,
know
for
what
a
I mean?
fucking part.
Yeah. And so it may not be as much of a concern as you might think.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
no, you're right. That makes sense.
You know? So I don't know. That's my thought. Because I know that like when you do a role, you kind of throw yourself into that role. Most people.
Yeah,
most
this is going to be
serious
like
actors.
a high quality like a type of thing. It's not just going to be some random YouTube show. Not that YouTube's bad, but I'm just maybe
no knocks on YouTube.
I know, right? Because everybody's
make that money.
got original content
make
now,
that
including
money.
YouTube. You know, I think it's great though. I think it's great what you're doing, and you know that we will support and we'll
you so
be
much.
here. You need some extra actors
I can't do the drag.
out of drag.
do anything else.
Out of drag.
It could be
Can you be the pool boy?
Sure, why not?
I've seen you in a Speedo. You can do the pool boy.
There you go.
You can do that.
See, there you go.
You can do it.
a better bet doing that than drag. So. But anyway.
I'm gonna pass on the drag. I mean, I could do the dance numbers and stuff, but I don't think I make a pretty girl. You know, I got big old
I've
shoulders.
seen you in a wig.
But I'm not pretty. I got.
I'm not pretty,
I'm
girl.
not pretty in a wig.
Don't downplay yourself.
I'm not, but you know, whatever. But I can pull off some hills and do some dips and dancing. So I can do that.
You got those roller skates.
Oh, I'm ready to go roller skating. If y'all are ready, get your skates. Let's do it. I'm ready to do it. But yeah.
I think that wraps up the topic/episode, and we can get into our final segment.
Yeah, you good with that? Anything else you want to say about the show?
No, just stay tuned because I ain't going anywhere.
All right, then. All right.
Ma'am, what do you think?
All right, it's time for Ma'am, what do you think? So I'm going to take the card today. And
Derek's going to answer first, right? I want to be able to just leverage anything that anybody else says.
I didn't sign up for this.
this is a pretty simple one, though,
Okay.
I think. But, you know, Derek is such a prude. So here we go. Ma'am, what do you think about making out with more than one person a night? Oh, sorry. Let me read that again.
Oh.
Ma'am, what do you think about making out with 3 or more people in one night?
No.
Well, you didn't even hesitate. No.
It wouldn't have. First of all,
Have you ever done that?
No.
Or would you ever do that?
No. if I'm already making out with you, is because I'm like already like invested in you. So I'm not gonna have time to stop and then like see someone else that I'm like kind of into and start making what?
Like
if I'm making out with you,
like even if like under the influence, maybe a little.
No. If that person left. And like 4 hours later, I ended up at,
you got reinvested.
And then I get reinvested. Hypothetically, it would happen, but that would never happen. Well, you guys have a better chance of seeing Madonna.
Oh. Well, Adam.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that either. I think it's...
Thank you.
Oh, really?
I mean, I may have done it before. It doesn't mean I'm proud of it.
Right. Well, I mean, 3, 2, okay, maybe 3. Or does a 3-way count?
It does. I think.
Well, I mean, because what if you're at a dance party and you're just casually minding your business, dancing on a dance floor, and
Somebody just
comes up
happens to
you,
make
right?
out with you. You might as well just do it.
Right. And then,
Do
like,
you guys remember a specific situation? Like, do you have one that pops into mind?
Honestly,
I'm just curious of how it all happened.
No, I don't
probably haven't really. I don't
I know for a
remember
fact.
something specific.
yeah, I mean,
But I don't doubt that I've done it.
that's what I'm thinking. I know it's been maybe 2.
Yeah, I would say I would say maybe like 2, but 3 is a little excessive. You're like kind of on a mission at that point. You know, you're looking for something. I don't know what it is.
Maybe a couple, like just because like you could be dancing and maybe you just make out with somebody randomly and then you kind of move on. And
You know what's
I mean,
funny? I
this
think I
sounds-
could do 3 dicks in one night, but I could not.
but you
make
can't
out.
kiss with
No.
3.
No.
Well, I am low key, like
You need to reevaluate.
Kink.
You need to reevaluate.
because there's no connection. It's just like sucking and go.
I don't see. I don't know if I agree with that. Like, I just feel like when people say that, they're like, "Oh, kissing." I'm like kissing's intimate. It is, but like, I also like sucking somebody's dick and eating somebody's ass is intimate too. So
Wait, yeah, eating someone's ass. I didn't say eating someone's ass. You're putting words in my ass. I said sucking dick.
this has gone really, really south.
I mean, it's an intimate thing, but I feel like when you're face to face, like,
No,
and you're
I
making
agree,
out,
but-
like,
Yeah,
I
it's just-
feel,
it gets,
I
like-
do think kissing is more intimate.
Yes, then a dick in your face.
I do because
I'm like, who does this belong to?
okay, I'm probably divulging too much, but whatever.
No, go.
Like if I'm fucking and someone is a horrible kisser, but I still want to have sex, I will just try my best to dodge the kissing situation until like we can finish.
Yeah, I mean,
So because to me, I just want to get off. But like kissing is different. It's a moment.
No,
It's like
such a make or break.
Yeah,
I get it,
yeah.
but I don't know. I'm gonna pray for y'all.
You know what? You just don't want to actually say. You don't want to put it out there. You want to make yourself seem a certain way.
I'm gonna pray for y'all. That's all I'm saying.
I probably just gave too much away.
I'm like, prayers up. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Like, okay, wait. Does kissing turn you on?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like a huge turn on for me.
No,
if
it
you're
is
not a
for-
good kisser,
Sorry to go
no, it
back
is
to
for
the-
me too, but
The beginning segment, but the guy that I'm kind of hanging out.
Yeah,
the one that you've
Like,
only hung out with
Trey's
two
You
times.
know when like two, like you know when kisses like combine,
Yeah.
you both know
you
how
can't
to, like,
stop really.
Oh
Yeah,
my god!
it's like not.
It's
yeah.
like so. It's that on top of conversation, on top of being attractive, on top of like just everything. It's all.
yeah.
You know, I'm gonna just ask for this. I'm gonna need some monthly updates. I just want to have monthly updates on
Okay.
this situation. Is you know that's I'm gonna share it with y'all too.
There's another. Segment.
Everyone's gonna know about
the Richard Ramirez segment.
I just want some monthly updates on this now. I don't want to have to be a bearer of bad news, but if I have to, I'll let you all know.
But yeah, I think that wraps that segment up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, I had so much fun with you
Oh,
tonight.
thank you so much for coming.
Again, thanks for having me. I'm
glad you
excited for
came.
what you guys have going on, and I would love to come back later on once this thing gets
Please.
picked up. I'm going to throw it out there in the world.
Yeah, put it out there. Put it on
Also,
your vision board.
Exactly. If anyone's listening and like just wants to contact me with about some more info, reach out. I'm on Instagram, Derek Viveiros _SHO, and then obviously just reach out to Adam or
Yeah,
Steven.
we'll tag you in some
Okay.
things so people
You'll
can
attack me?
Tag you.
Oh, tag
Yeah, we'll
me.
attack you. You
Attack
probably
you.
like that.
Okay, I thought, like, clearly you will like
You see
that.
my eyes?
Like,
I was
he got
like,
all
you're gonna-
excited.
you're gonna do
Like,
what?
No, you're going to tag me. Okay.
Tag you, which also could be.
Where I was
Which
gonna
also
say,
be an
like, which is still in the same vein of what you were saying, but
take
yeah,
it. I'll take it.
We'll have you in there, and
Yeah,
people
we'll
can
post
contact
something. We'll tag him and obviously follow us at Adam and Steve Podcast, or you can follow me at Adman2005.
and
Steven.
me at Green Eye Steve.
Yeah. But thank you all for listening. As always, it's such a pleasure putting this out there for the world, even if you don't want to listen to it. It's fucking there. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, remember that God made Adam and Eve, but he also made
Adam and Steve.
Any problems?
Pray about it.